here. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today is September 19th, 2022. There was a magnitude 7.6 earthquake off the coast of Mexico. So far, 87 people have reportedly felt that earthquake. There is a current tsunami warning. It's evidently for Guam, off the west coast of Alaska, British Columbia, American Samoa, Hawaii, and it says non-U.S. Canada Pacific threat. We'll just click on, let's click on this first one right here. And yeah, it just shows where the earthquake occurred at. Another report says it's a magnitude 7.6 that just came in. This is Yellowstone. And the bottom one is Little West Thumb. And then we got the borehole 207 at Madison River. Yeah, it shook up the caldera. It registered there at Yellowstone. Yep, they raised the magnitude to a 7.6, gave it an intensity level of 9. Which means buildings shifted off, foundations cracked, thrown out of plumb, ground cracked, underground pipes broken. That would be water and gas lines. Yeah, everyone needs to check that. Felt reports here on EMSC. Things shook, the strength built for half a minute, then rapidly decreased. A slight tremor was felt, but the lights and the water jugs moved. That was 198 kilometers from northwest, or 123 miles. Let's see. Light. This one says oscillatory. About 1 minute. Furniture and cars moved in the street. That was 207 miles northwest, which would be about 126 miles. Another felt report. This one 311 kilometers northwest, which is about 193 miles. It said lasted maybe 15 to 20 seconds, strong enough to visibly shake walls and doors. Another one says my building rocked back and forth, slow like a wave. Slow roller, 20 to 30 seconds, no damage. I wasn't sure, but then I saw the pendulum on a stopped cuckoo clock begin to oscillate. Felt a light shake, and then a minute or two later, a light jerk. That was 332 kilometers northeast. So that's 206 miles northeast. Let's see, oscillatory was therefore less intense. They felt it. This one said, very long, felt strong, but no damage to my building. That was 407 kilometers east, 252 miles. Another one said, felt my chair sway like it was on the ocean. Pictures on the wall wobbled a slight bit. And that was 454 kilometers east. So some reports are saying it's a 7.6. And here on Google Earth, let's take a look. Yeah, this is an area of spreading. And yeah, over there. Let's see, we got the Middle American Trench. Yeah. Hasn't been anything large since 2016, which was a 6.6. That was April 29th of 2016. So we got this fracture zone right here. And then the Cocos Plate, which is sliding underneath, subducting underneath. Yeah, this whole area. Here it says, urgent, Reuters. Buildings shook in Mexico City and residents in the capital ran into the street after an earthquake struck near the coast of western Mexico on Monday afternoon. The U.S. Geological said in an initial report that the quake registered as a 7.5. Here's a video clip from Mexico City, I believe. You can see the swaying people coming out of the buildings and alarms for cars are going off. Another report says it was a thrust earthquake, one of the worst kinds you can possibly have. It appears the Cocos or River Plate slipped beneath North America. Another report showing the shaking, and at the beginning of this, the water in the pool, it says USGS raises the magnitude of the quake in western Mexico to 7.6. Yeah, in 1985, over 10,000 people were killed by an earthquake there. Here is from EMSC about tsunami alerts and what to do. Another post on Twitter of all the people out in the streets. I assume this is probably Mexico City. You can see an ambulance there. And yeah, did you feel this earthquake? More information will probably slowly come in. If so, we're sending prayers to you guys. Please stay safe. Any earthquake has a 20% chance of being a foreshock for something much larger. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.